Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Major Minor.
Hi, everyone.
Yay. Here's hoping they don't just berate us with save points. Because I stopped that last one really short, thinking that the next one might be long.
It's possible. We're kind of getting to meat of the story here.
A little bit. The host of the Ark is an asshole.
Mm-hmm.
Maxine is a bitch. With reasons, but still a bitch. Ugh. I hate everybody.
I like her.
The week of the tour's arrival in Tokyo. We're in Singe's office?
Finally?
Thanks for working with my schedule. I know you were quite eager, Max. It's nice to finally meet you.
Yes, of course. This is important to me. I ensured that my schedule was wide open. I didn't want conflicts regarding time.
I'm glad it all worked out. So, may I ask what you wanted to say? I've never had someone so set on a meeting. You must be very passionate about this.
You have no idea. I guess you could use that word. Your employees call it stubborn.
You must mean Rook. I assure you he's harmless. You'll see if you run into him in person. He can be very rude in his emails, but honestly that's what I need. He's succinct and on the ball. He weeds out those who would waste my time, and he doesn't damage our public image. I'd say it's a win-win scenario, Max.
Singe is one who also needs to put on a shirt.
Yes.
I can see how he'd scare people away. You're lucky to have a man like him. Let's just hope he stays with the team. I read about his work in the past. How he ran from a maid cafe. I hope he's as reliable as you say.
I'm surprised you were able to learn that. He's usually very secretive about his past. I've seen him take down entire websites.
I have my ways.
I'm sure, but let's be more open. You didn't come here to talk about Rook. What are you after, Miss Armstrong?
Don't say it like that, Singe. It makes me sound shallow. I want to protect your workforce. Our catalog grows ever larger. I'm sure we can find something you'd like. Can't put a price on your loved ones.
Oh. So this is a sales pitch after all. I'm sorry, Max, I don't have time for this. I'm a very busy man with places to be.
Well, let's not jump to conclusions. A sales pitch means you're able to decline. Implies you have a choice in the matter.
Oh, really? Excuse me?
I already have my men arming the building. They'll be finished in a couple of hours.
What?
Oh, don't worry about it, Singe. We're using largely non-lethal methods. You know, chemical dispersion and stuff.
And stuff? What?
There will only be a couple of explosives.
What the... bitch!
Sorry, but I had to take the initiative. That's how you build an empire, Singe.
Have your men back off immediately. Max, we are in a foreign country. We don't have the permits or permission.
Already taken care of, Singe. You seem to underestimate me.
I want no part in this. I am uncomfortable housing weapons.
It's good to know.
I don't own this place. Please stop. I won't hesitate to call the police. I don't want to escalate this, Max. Back away from this peacefully.
You're right. You don't own this place. Just a couple of weeks ago, I bought it. It's property of Armstrong Incorporated. As of this moment, you're a trespasser.
She's Batmaning the shit out of this.
Yep. In clear violation of the law, Singe. How would that look for your record?
You're bribing me.
No, I haven't quite gotten to that part yet. Singe, if you don't let us arm this place, I'll have you charged for trespassing.
I think
That's blackmailing, not bribing.
Yeah, I think he meant to say blackmailing. But I've paid for a lease. That's not how it works, Max. It's a legally binding contract.
Any contract can be bought out. You just need the right amount of cash. It turns out I have a limitless supply. Do you still wish to contest this?
Yes, I do.
I was hoping it wouldn't come to that.
Max reaches into her pocket and takes out a photograph.
Look at this.
How did you get that? I keep it in my pocket at all times.
You don't know what you're dealing with. Forces beyond your control are at play. You need to let me do this. And now. The person in this photograph, they mean the world to you.
Yes.
So, if the law won't make you cave, I'll have to get a little more personal. You'll lose somebody dear to you instead. I demand your full cooperation, Singe. Or else I'll take things into my own hands. And in doing so, take your world away.
She rips the photograph in half. No! Who are you?
No one important. At least, not yet. I already went through your phone. I got your number, and a few others. Expect me to be in touch. It seems this tour may start with a bang.
She's fucking scary.
Yep.
Meanwhile... No, hello.
Thanks again for agreeing to this, Rook. Hard to find someone to talk to. Everyone is off doing their own thing.
You can say that again. I actually have another meeting booked, but this one took priority, Jade.
Let me guess. Maxine Armstrong?
Yeah, bumped into her in the lobby. Best to humor someone like that. I doubt anything will happen from it.
She's stuck in here too, remember? Just seems like she's going stir-crazy. Needs social interaction so she won't break.
No.
But we're both used to this place. We spent almost every day here. Survival of the fittest, right?
Indeed. Not everybody could stand this. Makes me wonder how the Lucky Two are doing. We promised them so much and they got this.
I've already talked it over with Singe. We've come to an amiable conclusion.
Amicable.
The lockdown won't last much longer.
That's good. We need some damage control, because there's been a whole lot of damage. We'll be doing tons of interviews, Jade. In fact, I have tons of requests already. Aside from Maxine Armstrong, I mean. This is the most hectic things can be.
Meetings are no problem for me. I know this is the same for you. It's the planning and scheduling.
Yeah, we're not gonna be here forever. You think we can fit all these in? Rook hands Jade his tablet. There's a list of names on it. The header reads, People to Interview. Jade is taken aback for a moment.
Did Rook just hand me his tablet? I've never seen it leave his hands before. It looks achievable. It might be a little cramped, but we're no strangers to that. We need to prioritize the biggest outlets. Talk to the people with the most reach. Nothing personal to the little guys.
She hands back the tablet with a smile.
Too much to do in a casual setting, though. Want to go grab some coffee together?
Sorry, I don't drink coffee. I'm antsy enough without it.
Well, we could grab dinner then. It's almost that time.
Sorry, not hungry. Anxiety does that to you.
Or it makes you eat a bunch. As clueless as ever, huh? And here I thought we'd made a breakthrough.
She was trying to flirt and it didn't work.
Uh-huh. All right. Let's just have a seat right here, then. We'll figure all this out together. And then maybe we can plan something more.
Ooh. Oh, yes. God damn it. Yeah, I guess. Yeah. Okay, well, at least we're back in here finally.
Mm-hmm.
We've gone back and forth to this damn office so many times. When I arrive in the office, they stare at me intently. I quickly apologize for any tardiness I may have displayed. I explain that Ashron held me up in order to chat. It seems to be enough to sate their curiosity. Neither of them seem aware that I was listening in. No worries. We had no schedule. Besides, Keela kept me company. We had quite a lot to chat about. Yeah, Singe is really cool. He's smart and well-spoken. I could learn a lot from him. But maybe I could teach him how to put a shirt on. You flatter me, Keela. But please, have a seat. And I refuse to put on that shirt. There's much to discuss. I do as instructed and sit beside Keela. I expected the atmosphere in the room to be happy, but for some reason I feel a sense of dread. Singe also looks like he's at his wit's end. At the press conference he seemed so calm and carefree, but that must have been an act. For the public. I have to wonder, is this how he truly feels? I wanted to start by thanking you both. Your dedication has been unmatched. The contest was a massive success. To that end, I have a present for you. I wanted to give it to you much earlier. Just give me a moment to get them, all right? Singe reaches under his desk for a few moments. He opens and closes drawers looking for something, and then stands up with a 9mm. After a few moments, he smiles and lets out a sigh, almost like he was afraid he lost them for a moment. I know you had to give away the cans. The ones that you won. The ones that won you your spot, I mean. To be honest, I found that silly. So I decided to have some replicas made. Something you could keep as a souvenir. They're exactly the same as you knew. Yes, I am a man of sentiment. No. No. The contest clearly meant a lot to you, so I thought this would be a nice gift. He places 2 cans of Pop Star on his desk. Me and Keela exchange glances with one another. Wow, Singe, that's really awesome. I was sad to have to give mine away. Now everything is A-OK. Keela happily grabs his can and places it in his pocket. This sure was interesting. I didn't expect it. The can on the desk reminds me of those simpler times. It was an exact replica of the one that got me here. But now it seems a little different, doesn't it? After all that happened, was it really so prestigious? It seems that it won us lots of pain and suffering. I hoped to myself that things would resolve happily. Still, so I don't seem rude, I accept the offering. I rest it in my lap, noticing that it's full. I'm assuming that Singe wants it to stay that way. I had to guard over these cans with my life. I didn't want them to get stolen or leaked. Then there could be more than 2 winners. This is a personal present from myself. Please treat them with love and care. With that said, we have to move on. A lot has happened since we arrived here, and especially since you 2 arrived. I am sorry that it has come to this, but I no longer feel safe keeping you here. I have arranged for transportation. Tomorrow you will both be taken home. I'm afraid the contest is cancelled. Trust me, it's not what I want here, and I truly wish I had better news. But I have to move on from this. You 2 are exempt from my previous rule of having to stay inside the building. You're both free, but that's not all. You'll be receiving compensation, of course. We had a lot of money set aside for you 2. Instead, we'll just be giving it to you. Well, that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
You'll get a you'll get to check before you leave. Look at the way check is spelled.
Yeah, that's a British spelling.
Oh. You'll get to check before you leave. For about $100,000. I hope these terms are acceptable. What? Your flight home will be tomorrow. I hope that we can be mature here. Will you agree to these terms? I will. I nod in acceptance. I can't exactly say no, but I knew I was still needed in Terra, so I'd have to play the rest of this by ear. This money isn't much when the worlds are at stake. With that said, I have one last gift. Singe reaches into his pocket and pulls out 2 cards. Interesting, they appear to be credit cards. There's one for each of you. They have a few $1,000s on them. It will help you until you cash the check. This is my own personal money too. Another gift, directly from me. There are lots of amenities on site. I trust you will enjoy your final day. Your flight will leave by noon. Meet me in the lobby at 7 o'clock. Okay. Keela grabs one of the cards and puts it in his pocket. I follow suit and do the same thing. This is eerie. It's almost like this wasn't happening. It was surreal. Yeah, we're walking away with $105,000.
Yeah.
The end of an era, it feels like. Everything we both wanted, taken away from us. But I can't give up. There's still lots to solve. But then Singe's phone rings. He puts a finger up, ordering us to wait a moment. Yes, Singe speaking. I see. Are you certain? I understand. Please call for help. Singe hangs up his phone. It's gonna be Rook.
Mm-hmm.
He slumps down in his chair with a huge sigh. What happened? Who was that? I'm afraid I have some bad news. A corpse was found on the premises. In the backstage area, to be precise. Are you serious? Singe places both hands over his face. He continues to speak, but it's muffled. It's unclear what emotion is worn underneath. It was Raka, our guitarist.
Oh no.
Aww. No more lectures about Japan. Again, at a much earlier time. Now I think we're back to Miss Bitch and Mr. Bitch. So I guess that's all I need to say. The list, these people, and David. Not to mention the power I've given you. Any questions before I send you back? Remember, this may be your only chance. I don't want you leaving with any regrets. What? Who? What? Who? What? Who? What? What? I can't process that.
Nope.
Oh, my brain.
Wow.
Ow.
Definitely not Miss Bitch, as you called her.
Ow. My brain. Not my husbando. None. It was all very clear. It might be hard to find a way in. The tour already has a guard, you know. It shouldn't be an issue. And after that, your opposition. Their goal is to kill. Yours is to protect.
Oh, shit.
Again, shouldn't be an issue. So, Max...
So he's literally setting Max up against Acheron.
What is our fucking job? He sent Maxine to kill everyone, sent him to try to protect everyone from Maxine, and then, what the fuck's our job? We got dragged to Terra to do something. What? I don't know how to brain anymore.
No idea.
I've never failed any of my clients. I have no need to treat this differently. Well, there is some leeway here. You just need to leave one person alive. For your competition, it's all or nothing. It will be interesting to see who wins. For life and death, fighting each other. The spot is as good as mine. I've no intention of ruining my record. I've never let a client down before. Very well. I have one final request, however, regarding the one called David. What is it? I'll be making up a big story. Something about parallel worlds. They'll think they have a power. If they tell you this, humor them. They mustn't know the truth of things. They are the key to my other venture. Very well. With that being said, are you ready for the games to begin? The eternal struggle of life and death. But this time, we'll have a victor. Yes, I am. Good. And one final thing. When you meet your opposition, I think you'll come to understand. There's no motivation like sibling rivalry. Oh, no. His name is Asheron Armstrong or something like that. Where the fuck are we now? Oh, hello. Velazquez kneels at an altar, surrounded by silence. In my time of need, I fear I am alone. But what does a man such as me pray to, when I already bear the burden of the world, and when its fate is now upon us? He grips the scepter in his hands, trembling softly. A monument to the dead is my only hope. Perhaps this is proof enough of my failure. But I know that we can find salvation, for nothing is below such a right. Not as long as they have the power, or if they have the strength to use it. The fate of the universe is now a gamble, and here I am, filled with doubt, when once I was so sure. However, now it is too late. They are coming with 1,000 furies, and they will seek only our destruction. Taking a deep breath, he stands. But as they say about desperate times, he aims the sharp side of the scepter towards his body. He drives it through his chest. With a frightened scream, he loses his balance. Grabbing onto a pew for balance, he watches the floor become stained with his blood. He cries, "For Terra and the immortal king."
What?
Fucking who? What? How? I has a confuse.
Yep.
Everything's confusing me now.
Stop that.
We sit in silence for far too long. Singe rests his face in his hands in utter defeat. I don't know where your tour is going now, dude. Keela and I exchange glances, unsure of what to do. Was ṟouᴉ truly dead? And aligning perfectly with those mysterious texts. Wait, I have to use my brain here. The message said a friend of mine would die today. I can't say that I'd consider ṟouᴉ a friend. We've had next to no contact since I arrived. The only people I've had real contact with, Keela and Rook. But they're safe and sound. As I make eye contact with Keela, I shrug. Perhaps it would be best for us to leave Singe alone, and perhaps leave this place altogether. We shouldn't have to wait until morning, not with danger like this lurking about, especially not since we have those credit cards. Singe, are you okay? I am conflicted. ṟouᴉ was a prodigy. This loss is profound, not just for me and my endeavors, but for the music industry as a whole. He takes out his phone and starts texting. I must confer with Asheron, but I think we all know what this means. Huh? The killer is among us. Huh? This calls for a change of plans. A change? I need to work with Asheron. Together we can catch this killer. While on the other hand, your flight home has been bumped up. I'll make sure you're home later tonight. I'm sure you understand. Clace was not an isolated incident. The worst has come to pass. We are under attack, and I cannot risk you two as casualties. I understand. Talk about worst case scenario. I wonder if this tour will even happen. So much has gone to waste. But for what purpose? Why would someone want to do this?
That's a good question, actually. And I did have a better grasp on things than he did. If someone was misusing their powers from the Ark, why would that man give it to them in the first place? I assumed that he chose his specimens carefully. At least that's the impression he gave me. No, he's a dick. Who created a fucking contest to entertain himself.
Yep, because he's bored.
I didn't think he'd choose someone so reckless. In fact, I thought I was the only one chosen. And do I really want to leave? I feel like I have a part to play in this mystery. For now, it seems like this ends tonight. And as that's all the time I have before I'm sent home. That's a tall order. Catch a murderer and save Terra all in one night.
Well, she has 24 hours to kill everyone, so yeah.
My thing is, yeah, she's got 24 hours to kill everyone. She can control time. She can wind back those 24 hours.
Yeah.
Well, she can at least stop time. So, like, you stop time, you go and kill the first person, you go to the next person, kill them, and you just do it all before the time turns back on. And everyone suddenly drops dead all at once. It would be that easy, but people don't have logic like that.
Nope.
I feel like I bit off more than I can chew. So what do we do in the meantime?
I would suggest sticking together, or at least be around those you trust. Shock and Ṟocka rarely parted ways. The killer must have been watching. They waited until Ṟocka was alone. Don't give them that chance. I'm afraid that's all the advice I have.
Wait a minute. You're gonna make us stay here when there's a killer out and about? That's crazy. I thought maybe you'd make us wait at the airport or something, Singe. But keeping us in harm's way?
That's a very pessimistic way of looking at things, Keela. You should rethink this. This is basically a hostage situation. We might as well have guns to our heads. And what's the one thing you must never do when someone has a gun pointed at you?
Make sudden movements.
Exactly. A rash action like that might provoke the assailant into taking rash actions of their own. We must remain here. I think it's best if we let them assume their plan is coming to fruition. That way we can catch them off guard later on. I will discuss the best course of action with Acheron. If I'm not mistaken, this is far from his first brush with a killer. But as it stands, I think the best course of action is not to give off the impression that we fear the killer, that we're running.
I guess that makes sense. I don't know.
Truth be told, I don't know either. But Acheron will. If the plan changes, I'll let you know.
You got Singe's contact information. Hooray! I don't fucking care. All right. Singe leans back in his chair with a sigh.
At first I thought I was responsible for Clace's death. That maybe allowing him to leave this place put him in danger. But now I know we've been targeted. Honestly, I think that Clace would have been attacked no matter where he was. I don't know if that's scary or if it's reassuring. But now the burden of responsibility is one easily discarded. I feel as if my mind has become more clear. I will use this newfound resolve to find and restrain the killer. Give them justice. And Acheron and myself will do it swiftly.
He slams a fist down on the table.
You are free to go. Please heed the advice I gave earlier, and I will be in contact about your flight.
I can understand where he's coming from. Guilt can be a devastating force. To be free from it is truly liberating, especially if it wasn't your fault. David, you can go. I need to have a few words with Singe. I'll run into you later, I'm sure. Keela reclines in his chair, clearly displaying that he's here to stay. What was the first thing he said? Didn't he say don't separate?
Uh-huh.
What the fuck?
Very well. Be safe, David.
I nod. This was all a lot to process. I guess we were expected to act like rats in a cage, moving as the mastermind expects. Hopefully none of us wants to rattle that cage. Would you like to save your game? Yes. Good timing.
Yeah.
Look at that. Alright. So, shit is hitting the fan really fast.
Yes.
And apparently Acheron is another Ark host contestant.
Scary.
But at least he's a good one.
We hope, anyway.
Well, his job is to keep me alive.
Well, you think it's you.
He said David specifically.
No, he said, oh, and this David, and there's this one other person, David. If he says something about blah, 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 humor him.
Well, that means that the art guy lied to me.
Yeah.
That means that we probably don't have a power. What I thought it was that it was literally them making a fourth wall break and saying that my power was the fact that I could go back to save files. I can go back to save files and change decisions. I assumed that was the power they were talking about. I figured it was a fourth wall thing. Well, I might be wrong.
Or you could be right.
Anyway, until next time, folks, this shit's getting real.
Yep. Bye, all.
Bye.